Buzz's Retirement Garage. It's the end of July 2024. Time for our Social Security versus expenditure update. Welcome. Welcome to everybody. Since June, the end of June, we've picked up an additional 6,000 subscribers. So for anybody who hasn't seen me before or only have seen one of my videos or just a few, let me recap my life. I retired in the end of September 2023 at 63 years old. Took my Social Security. I think I got my first check in December, if I remember correctly. Turned 64 in January. When I retired from the company I was working for in Akron, Ohio, I live in Cleveland. When I retired, I kind of thought that I retired from there, and I kind of thought I would go ahead and find a job local in Cleveland and work full-time, probably till I was 65 at least. You know, another year or so. And I started doing the tracking and wanted to see if our Social Security by itself, between my wife and I, could cover all of our daily operating expenses every month without touching our bank accounts. Our bank accounts, our E-Trade, our 401ks, our Roth does not amount to a lot of money, okay? You know, Dwayne, I always reference the godfather of videos, Dwayne, at 500K, early retirement 500K, make sure I get that right. Dwayne started off with around 538,000. He's not on Social Security though, so he's taking from his money. So if you get a chance, check out Dwayne. He does an end of month summary as well to see where he's at. He doesn't itemize like I do, but he gives you a good glimpse of how he's doing. So check him out if you get a chance. So for me, I started doing this, and we're on our 8th month now. This is, to me, a 12-month experiment. I want to see over the course of 12 months if we could just exist on Social Security alone. So as you can see from the top of the page, and I believe you can see that, but I'll go over it real quick. I get 2523. This is gross. Okay, so this is before any type of deductions or anything. Between my wife's Medicare deductions, I get 2523, she gets 1260. Okay, so we get 3783 per month before deductions. And now we'll go through these deductions. House taxes, which is the number one. Now this is July, okay? So I just kind of moved the months over instead of erasing everything. So here's June, so this was last month. So it goes May, June, and then back over this way to July. All right, so July, you notice maybe there's an increase. We were at $417 a month on house taxes or property taxes. So the house is paid for. One of the things that I had to do before I even contemplated retirement was make sure I was debt free. No car payment, no credit card debt, no house payment, nothing that I have to pay out large sums of money every month. So we accomplished that before I retired in September of 23. So the house taxes, unfortunately, you know, I think 75% go to the local schools here, and then library and parks, etc., etc. But it did go up. We did get an assessment. So we're at $417 last month, and basically for the last few years. Now we're at $450 because they did do a reassessment of property values, and of course everybody's properties went up. I don't know if that's happened in your area, but it's definitely happened in Cuyahoga County, Ohio. House insurance also went up. So I was paying around, well, right now I'm paying $814 a year, which covers our house through State Farm. But you saw we were at $50 in May, and now it's up to $68 a month that I book for my once a year payment. But I basically put that money aside so that when I have to pay in June, that money's available. So water, we're watering the garden over there. If you've been watching me before, you know I got a little bit of a garden finally. After 47 years of not having summers off, I've got a summer off. First one, 47 years. So now I've got the garden, but of course the cost of water, a little bit higher, 36 bucks. Gas, natural gas. This one just makes me crazy, but it's not hard to do, right? So we were at 61 last month in June, 58 in July. Guess how much of that is actual natural gas out of that $58? Guess. Come on. $7. $7 for natural gas. Everything else is distribution costs, taxes, riders. So when they put in equipment and upgrade equipment in everybody's homes or outside their homes, the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio says, well, we'll pay you. We'll make sure that your customers pay you back for that. So, you know, I don't know how long we're going to pay. I thought the projects were done, but it seems like we're going on 10 years now, and we still get that rider. So maybe it'll stay on there forever. Who knows? Electricity, 101. Pretty simple, right? It's summertime, air conditioning. We do have central air. We didn't have central air when we bought the house in 1990. So we did put in central air in 1997 when we put an addition on the home. So obviously costs are a little bit higher on electricity. I lost my 1 year of 4.3 cents per kilowatt expired, but I did find a 3-month term for 4.5 cents. So our rate here in Ohio through the Cleveland Illuminating Company is around 9.8 cents. So we're finding cheaper prices, which we can do in Ohio. We can shop for different prices. You pay the same distribution cost. Everybody pays the same distribution cost, but you can get the electricity cheaper. So that's something you always got to keep an eye on. So I signed up for a 3-month deal. 3 months from now, I got to go look for another deal. Our universal life insurance, we talked about that in other videos. If you want to know more about that, go back to some of the other end of month videos, or send me an email at nopurplecar@gmail.com, and I can give you some information of what we're doing. But I have a $100,000 life insurance policy on my wife, and she has a $200,000 life insurance policy on me. Now, why is that? That is because if I pass, she loses my Social Security money, right? Well, actually, she picks up my money, but loses hers, I guess you could say technically, right? So that $200,000 that she's going to get from State Farm is going to help her over the course of years have the same amount of money theoretically coming in for 8, 9, 10 years. So see how that works out. Auto insurance, everybody says all the time, I've got the greatest rate. Even my agent said that. I'm paying $50 a month for a 2018 vehicle, so that's not a bad deal. Medicare, my wife is on Medicare. I am not. I'm only 64. I will turn 65 in January, okay? So $175 for her. We have Plan N as a Nancy, 89 bucks. I have the ACA with the GAP plan, so I'm only paying through the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. I'm paying actually around $89 with a subsidy based on my income of $800 some dollars. So I'm only paying $89. The difference of $89 versus $232 is what's called a GAP plan. So if I have a heart attack or something crazy like that, it's almost like Aflac. You've heard of Aflac with the duck. But if I have an accident or I have some type of major issue, like a heart attack, if I'm in the hospital for a heart attack, it's going to pay $10,000. All right, just send you a check for $10,000. There's no deductibles. There's no stuff like that. So my deductible on the ACA plan is $8,000. So if I have something major, that $10,000 will cover that deductible, plus give me another a few dollars for lunch after I get out of the hospital. Cable internet, another big topic we've talked about over and over again, almost too much, but my wife won. I am right now going to pay $242 a month for cable through Cox Cable. Yeah, YouTube TV was $73. Sling was around $40. If you get both of them, it's $80 some dollars. Our internet right now is $90. I did get the T-Mobile internet. I'm going to hook that up. I keep promising myself to do that, but I got to get that hooked up, and that'll only be $40. So I can reduce that $242 by $50 if the thing works well. Now, I've been happy with Cox's internet. I've been happy with it. So if there's a downgrade to the T-Mobile, I won't be happy with it, and I'll be sticking with the Cox Cable internet. But let's see what happens. There is some opportunity of reduction there, so I don't get yelled at every comment about my cable bill. 2 cell phones through T-Mobile, 55 and over Magenta plan. That's 2 cell phones, tax, title, and license, $64 out the door. Yes, there's Mint Mobile, but I find myself sometimes going over their gigabytes. You can get it as low as $15. If you're interested and you're not using your phone much, go to Mint Mobile. You can get $15 a month for 5 gig, I believe it is. 10 gig is a little bit higher. 15 gig is higher yet. But Mint Mobile seems like it's got a good deal. They are part of T-Mobile. They just run separate books, so you're on the T-Mobile network, which I don't have any problem with because that's where I have my phone. So gas for car, I'm at $30. I'm actually on E because we did a lot of traveling back and forth to do some stuff that we were helping somebody with. So I was down in Cleveland, so we did put some miles on this month, but averaging around $30 a month for gas for the car. Restaurants, we are up a little bit higher. $207 last month, down from $260 the month prior, but this time it was $340. So I told my wife, I said, well, you know what? This is a good excuse because it's been so hot and the air conditioning's been running, so you can't cook when the air is running, right? I mean, doesn't that make sense? It's better to go out and eat. So you people out there watching this, tell your spouse, hey, you know, it costs money to run that air conditioner instead of putting on the stove and cooking a meal. Why don't we go out? See, helping you out. Veterinarian, nothing. A couple months ago, we got, and we talked about this, we got a $154 check from, long story short, we got a $154 check for a cat that we took in by going with an insurance plan that was free through Medical Mutual of Ohio, which is my wife's, I'm going to take that back, which is my ACA plan, Medical Mutual. They come out with these different programs, and that was one of them. I think it was through WAG, W-A-G, and they actually paid a bill retroactive to me even signing up, which I thought was amazing. So we saved, out of a $209 bill, they saved us $154 that month. But nothing, we haven't had any issues this month. Groceries, always the biggest topic of the board. Well, second to cable, right? Groceries so 2 months ago we were at $9.88. Last month we were at $8.66. This month we were at $5.87. Yes, we had an uptick in our restaurant, but we had a nice decrease in our food budget for the two of us. For this month. How did we do that? Well, she started making more like vegetable soups, okay, which doesn't cost that much. We're still pretty heavy on chicken. I haven't had a steak in I don't know how long. We're gonna have to put a stop to that because but seriously, I walk into Costco or Sam's Club or any of these stores and I look at the price of meat. I just can't see myself doing, you know, buying a not prime, but choice filet mignon or a choice tomahawk steak or something like that. I just can't see spending that kind of money for one meal. I just don't want to do it. But as a treat, eventually I'll buy one, but I haven't had steak in, geez, I don't know how long. Now we're buying some hamburger, or I should say we're buying bison. bison burger, which is expensive too. So I do get I get a little bit of that, but not much. And we buy turkey bacon too, which is BS, but so I don't even get good bacon. But we did go to Bob Evans from the restaurant thing yesterday. We were doing some running around, so I did get some real bacon yesterday. Paper, so that was good, $5.87. Paper products, we didn't, we had $43 in paper products. So I buy my paper towels and toilet paper from Sam's Club. Their toilet paper at Sam's is 22 something for 40 rolls, I believe it is. Been buying it there for years. Pet products or home products. You see, that's a big number this month. She bought $100 worth of herbs. I was actually thinking about letting her grow those herbs, and then we'll bag them up and then maybe sell them on the channel if anybody's interested. But I bought my Christmas lights. You probably saw a video from True Tone Lights. I love their lights because if you grew up in the 60s and 50s, you know that they went from what's called a C6, which looks like a skinny light, small skinny light, to a C7, which is that fat bulb. And when you touched it, it burned your fingers, if you remember those days. Well, they make those C7s and C9s, which is the bigger ones, which you normally find outside on your bushes or trees outside. They're outside because they're larger. They sell them at True Tone and they have LED instead of the old electric filaments. And the color, what their pride is that they match the color of the old bulbs. If you look at common LEDs now, they're so bright, and there's nothing wrong with them, but they're so bright, and they're just not the same. People love that look, and I do too. But I love the traditional, muted, almost looks like 1960s, 1970s. Actually, they did a color comparison, and they're identical. Expensive, but worth it. So I spent $124 and got some of those bulbs. I got 50 of the C9s, and I got a star. If you see one of my videos, there's a star that they, from the old times, they reproduced that, and I'm going to put that at the top of one of my Christmas trees. And we bought an air cleaner. So I think it's called Blue Air. The air cleaner was $160 during Amazon Prime days, but so I included that at home products. It was $170 down from two something. So we wanted to get an air cleaner for a long time. Now that the house has been closed up with air conditioning and the house is going to be closed up with heating in the fall and winter time, we wanted to get an air cleaner, and so we did. Pet products, $124. I only got one bag of bird seed we're using. What's nice is $275 because of the bird seed last month, $124 because we're using a lot of those pellets, Tractor Supply pellets. We've talked about this before for her cats. Most of them are taking to it, some don't, so we have to buy regular litter. We're using the Dr. Elsley's litter, and we're buying off of Amazon on a subscription. So the pellets are working great. I think they're $6.49 a bag, and I know a commenter said in Georgia they're $7.49 a bag. So, but for now here in the Cleveland area, it's $6.49 a bag. It works really great compared to a $20 or $25 40-pound bag of cat litter. Entertainment, as we all know, that's my lottery, so we'll just leave it at that. $100. Medicines, $40. Clothes, we didn't have anything. And miscellaneous, we'll drop this down a little bit. Miscellaneous, about $26 just for this, that. I have to pay $7.45 for water runoff from my roof. Yeah, they charge us for that. So if the water runs off your roof onto the ground, they charge you for that too. So whatever, that's only $7.45. I do have a rain barrel, so it's actually 10 something, but they give you a couple dollar reduction if you have a rain barrel, which I do. So that's part of our miscellaneous. Now, Costco did send me a check because I used a Costco credit card. They sent me a check for $150. So someone had asked me I don't see your subscriptions on there. Like, what do you buy? Like Costco and Sam's Club, you have membership fees. Well, my membership fees are paid by using credit cards because they're giving you 4% on gas, 3% on restaurants, 2% on Costco purchases, 1% on everything else. So that adds up where you're using your credit card to buy your food and then you pay it off every 30 days. So they sent me another $150 check. So I think the membership is 100 something. So I'm already ahead by doing that. So anyway, so we're at 3616 spent. Our 3783 is what we get from Social Security. So we've got another net of 167 plus. So our 8-month average, and let me give you another board here. It's the old other board. Let's see if we can see that. Okay, that's pretty good. So December we were 591 up. January, paying the bills, we were 1,000 down. March, we were 410 down. Every other month, we've had a positive gain. So our 8-month average is 3125. Why a plus 3125 per month? Why is that important? It's important because I haven't touched my bank accounts. I haven't touched a single penny from the bank. So this year, you know, I've got, I think I did a video, I'm probably around 70. I've got quite a bit of earnings in the stock market right now. Even though I don't have that much money, it's been going up very nice this year. And I'm sure if you're in the stock market, certain stocks, you're seeing the same thing. So that money is going to help buy emergency supplies if I need it. If I do have a problem with the refrigerator or something, my gains there, which I'm starting to take actually, is going to help in case like I said, if I do have any type of emergency, those gains are out there. Now I have, even today, Powell said they were not changing the interest rates from what I understand. So I'm taking some of my profits now and moving it into a safe account. I think that's, for me, that's a good thing. So because what goes up must come down, and eventually it's going to come down. We don't know when, but I am starting to siphon off some profits and putting it into some safe CDs. Haven't done any T-bills yet. I know a lot of you people have told me to get into the T-bills. I haven't done it yet, but I will take a hard look at that as I'm moving these profits out. So all in all, 8 months in of my 12-month experiment, we're not doing too bad. Even with the higher prices on food and the higher prices on my house taxes and the house insurance, we're not doing too bad. We're hanging in there. Now my YouTube income is a separate line item. I don't include that in here. I actually don't know. I know what I'm making, but I don't know what the net will be, because as Dwayne will even say, we're kind of self-employed with YouTube. Google pays us, and since you're self-employed, there's going to be taxes associated to that. And since this is my first go around with this, I don't know what to expect. I'm going to see a CPA soon and see what I have to do as far as my self-employment taxes, how that's going to affect us. So I will do an update on my YouTube earnings at the end of the year, for the year, because I got monetized in January 2024. A lot of you subscribers already know that, but for the 6,000 new subscribers that have come on, I will do that update in December or early January 2025, and we'll take a look back at the entire year to see where we're at. So anyway, this is where we're at. Any questions, comments, concerns, general criticisms, I'm okay with. It's okay. I can see that skin. That's thick. That's thick as a brick, buddy. So go ahead, give me those comments. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on a live this coming Saturday or Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for those who can make it. I appreciate you. Take care.